Hello, I'm Pascal Brakman, and I'm going to demonstrate why it's better to match your route with the underlying route network. This is an example of a mountain bike route. At first sight, everything looks nice and fits almost with the underlying network. But if you look a bit in detail, you see that the road is, or the path is a bit different from the path here, so it doesn't exactly match with the roads here. So you might think this is just a kind of detail which is not that important. Well, if you use the map as such, it's not a huge problem, but I will show you two aspects where it's not working very fine. The first aspect is when I go to the download and the print, and I go to the road book, and I print the road book, you will see that the map print is pretty much okay with some small details. Let's have a look here. So you see the road follows nicely or approximately the yellow line. That's detailed enough. Here you deviate, that's fine. But let's have a look at the end. At the end, in the road book, there's also a road description, and here you're missing all the paths which are indicated. So that's the first aspect. So let's have a look on how we can improve this. If I'm the author of the route, I can take the title and just copy it. And now I'm going to go to the edit page of the route. So that's the pencil. I'm going to edit the route in the route planner. So I'm doing this. And now you will see a few things. First of all, you will see that all the whole route is made up of very small lines, which are straight lines. And I can see that because the routing here is set to manual. And manual on RouteYou, that means it's a straight line between the waypoints you have, and waypoints are these green little dots. So that's the manual routing. I'm going to do another trick before I start to edit this routing, because I would like to see if we change the routing, that I keep my original route. So the easiest way to do this is I'm going to put on the map layer, and in the map layer choices, I can choose other maps, but I can also choose a route or several routes as a reference. So I'm going to select a route as a reference. Which route would I like to have? Well, the one with the keywords I just copied, and I'm going to paste them here. So it's the Pickering to Longdale end. I could also select it on the author, but I might have the route here which I want. So I can select this one, and I can give it another color just to make sure. I want to make it very clear. So it's black, and I'm happy with the the blue color, and I'm going to continue planning. So I'm back where I was before. As I said, we don't want the routing manually. We want the routing to match the underlying network. And how can I do that? Well, I have several options. I would recommend you to take the shortest OpenStreetMap version. So that will try to match all the segments via OpenStreetMap, or using OpenStreetMap as a background map. You could also choose those ones, but since I know exactly what I want, I know the path I want, I would recommend you to use the shortest OpenStreetMap. Let's do this. The system will ask me, would you like to apply this changing from manual to shortest OpenStreetMap? Would you like to apply that on the full route or just on the next modifications? I could do that one by one, but that's going to take me a lot of time. So I'm going to select full route. Let's do this. And now the system adapts it automatically. You might have seen this very small change, but you will see now in detail, these are now, the blue lines became now the black lines. So the black line, you see very small deviations, but when you look in detail, it follows the path correctly. Here, for instance, there's a small turn to the right. Make a U-turn and turn to the left, right again. That's not something I want. I'm going to put that waypoint just cross the junction. Here, the same thing, that follows nicely. You see now that my black line follows nicely the Ellerburn Road instead of the blue line. is actually missing it time to time when you look in detail. So here it's next to the road, and that's why it didn't have that indication. So it's now a perfect match. I can check in all detail. I can check if the blue line follows approximately the black line, so there are no big detours, so no accidents happened. So that's why I prefer to use a reference route to see if nothing strange happens. Something strange would have happened, I would have seen a very big deviation, and I could adapt it there. So that's my first part. I adapted it. Of course, I have to save it now, go completely to the end, save the route. Yes, this is a nice title already. It's a mountain bike route. I could skip the original one. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to override the original one with my better version of the route. Here it's in kilometers. There are also settings in your profile where you can adapt the kilometers to miles if you would prefer that. So now I have a new route, with very small differences versus the original route, but you will see that it now matches much better the original route. I'm now going to use the print again, print roadbook, download, and you will see now already the difference, that I do get the indications. I download the prints. Again, on the geometry, there's not much difference, but if I go to the road book, now you see make a route on Bridgegate, make a left on Hungate, and so on. And of course, if there are no street names or pieces missing, you don't get an indication. It could be that there's an unnamed path, and then you don't get the instructions. But this is already much better than what you had before. Here, I'm missing some information, but that's because there are paths without names. So that's one of the advantages. The second advantage is that RouteYou also analyzes your route. And if I go to the commands, I can see now that RouteYou recognizes 100% of the network is now known. It gives you the percentage unpaved. It gives you the parts which are traffic free or low in traffic, the noise pollution type of landscape. And that's because you did the nice fitting. So those are a few advantages why we prefer that you match your route. Just don't upload it, but match it to the underlying network to get a better product, because now your users can make use of, for instance, the roadbook and get much more detailed information. Have fun with it.